Hello once again everyone, Vanguard of Valor here, and welcome back aboard FTL. Now in today's episode, we're going to be flying the Rock Cruiser, I believe, so if you want to skip straight to that, you can click right about here. There should be a link on the screen to let you do just that. But if you decided to stay, which I must say is the better choice, let's jump right in and talk about our ship a little bit. So, Rock Cruiser it is. We're going to be using the Type A for a change again, just like our Slug Cruiser. Unfortunately, this time I also don't have the Type B yet unlocked. We are going to be renaming it first of all, because you gotta do that with your ships, otherwise really, what's the point in flying them? So this one is going to be the VSS Literacy. We're going to be spreading knowledge of the galaxy with Tolkien. For fantasy, we're going to have Isaac Asimov representing science fiction. And we're also going to have Stephen King representing horror and pumping out more books than most people can read in a year. Alright, so talking about this particular ship, there's some interesting things worth mentioning. First of all, the biggest concern in my mind, well, there's two big concerns in my mind. First of all, your crew is entirely made of rockmen, which makes sense given that it's a ship made for the rocks, but that means you have to deal with some specific problems. First of all, you have really slow movement speed. If something goes wrong on your ship, it's going to take you a while to get over there to fix it. Not to mention, the second biggest problem, all your weapons at the start of the game are missiles. You start out with a decent supply of missiles, but you burn through them quickly. If you don't find alternate weapons, there is absolutely no chance of you being able to make them last. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. In addition to that, it's interesting to note that the augmentation, rock plating, is unique to this ship. It comes with a 15% chance to negate incoming hull damage when hit. That means if, say, a rocket manages to come in and hit our medbay, the medbay might be damaged, but the room itself has a chance of not taking any hull damage, which I think is pretty cool. We also have enough energy to power those weapons. We have a shield, all the normal systems in here. We also have doors at the front and doors at the back, which can make venting out some of these center rooms a little bit slow, but is fairly decent for venting out oxygen. And it's also worth noting that it looks pretty cool. I think this is one of my favorite looking ships from the outside. I think it just has a cool look to it. Anyway, one last thing to talk about before we jump in is the achievements in order to unlock the Type B. This one is quite easy. Defense drones don't do anything, which is using the Rock Cruiser, destroying an enemy ship which has a defense drone active, and only using missiles. The great thing about a defense drone is it can only block one missile at a time. For the most part, if you fire two missiles simultaneously, it's going to have a hard time shooting them both down. So that one was really not that hard to get. The only tricky part was finding an enemy that had a defense drone. As far as this one, killing this one and this one are a little bit ridiculous. Is it warm in here? Achievement involving having your crew members kill a burning enemy on the enemy's ship while using the Rock Cruiser. The problem with that is, first of all, it means you have to set fire to the enemy room, have them be stuck in the fire so that they're burning, kill them while they're stuck in the fire on board their ship, meaning you have to have a teleporter, without them running away, without them running to a med bay, and healing, and getting away from your very slow-moving rock crew. So this one is a little bit tricky. I've tried it a couple times, and I have had absolutely no success with it so far, but we'll see if I get better luck later on. This one, on the other hand, Ancestry, involves finding the secret sector with the Rock Cruiser. Now, this seems like a particularly jerky achievement, because just getting that event chain to happen in the first place is incredibly low chance. I've had it start like 6 or 7 times now, and each time it has failed before ever getting to the Rock homeworlds, which you need to get to in order to find the secret sector. So getting it specifically with this ship seems like a nasty requirement, although it does make sense given the whole lore around the thing. So I guess we can forgive that. But I think that's all we have to say about this ship. So we're going to jump right in, and hopefully have a good adventure. Of course, we will be playing on normal. So, here we go. And here we go. The data we carry is, as always, vital to the remaining Federation fleet. We'll need supplies for the journey, so we'll need to make sure to explore each sector and get to the exit before those rebels can catch us. Well, Tolkien, you're going to stay in control there, so actually, yeah, we'll send Asimov over to weapons, and Stephen King is going to be in charge of our shields. Sounds like a pretty solid setup to me. Power up our missiles, depower our medbay to power up our engines, because despite the fact that I don't like having systems unpowered, we don't need the medbay at the start of the game. Now let's jump on ahead and see if we can't find anything useful to start us out. Oh, we detect an automated rebel scout attacking a small refueling outpost. Let's intervene and defend those outposted people. They've got some lasers, so we're probably going to get hit by lasers in a second. But hopefully not before we can shoot them in the face with some missiles. 2 missiles should do it. They've got about 6 health. They've got exactly 6 health. So if both of our missiles hit them, they will go down. Unfortunately, they blocked our hull missile, which was what I was going to rely on to do most of my damage. That is unfortunate. Also, our shields are down completely, which is also unfortunate. We're going to take another hit now because of that. There we go, that's back online. Now they cannot hurt us, and we're going to wait for our hull missile to charge up and kill them in one shot. Hull missiles do 2 damage on rooms with systems in them, but 4 damage on rooms without, meaning they're pretty good for conserving our limited missile supply. Even though we start out the game with 28 missiles, that's not a whole lot when you consider you only have missiles to use as weapons. We're going to want to spend them as sparingly as possible. The ship breaks apart and we salvage 2 fuel, 2 missiles, and 10 scrap from the wreckage. The outpost hails us as well after the scout was destroyed, thanking us for their help. They've been harassed non-stop by those scouts, and offer us a fuel, a missile, and 16 scrap as a reward. Not bad. Alright, let's jump onwards and see if we can't get any other goodies. There's some pretty space here. Upon completing our jump, we receive a message from a nearby ship, also rock. They say, "Greetings and welcome to our beacon. For a small fee, we'll let you continue on your way." But unfortunately, we'll be rejecting their offer. They've got some big lasers, so hopefully we'll be able to hit them in the weapons and then hull missiling them in the empty spaces of their ship. Some ships don't have any empty spaces, so hull missiles aren't really that valuable, and there's no point to really wait for them to charge. Also, we just missed our Artemis missile, because that sucks. Hopefully this one hits. There we go. Actually, we might just wait till another hull missile charges up for the extra damage. Their weapons seem to be out of sync, so they can't actually hit through our shields at the moment. So there's no reason not to wait for the hull missile to fire. Because that's another miss. Okay, hull missile, take them down, please. No surrenders. There we go. No survivors. No surrenders, no survivors. Alright, ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, giving us 2 missiles, a drone part, 17 scrap, and a healing burst. Now, the second time I got a healing burst bomb. This is, again, it's a very circumstantial weapon. It's actually quite good when you have rocks, because rocks move so slowly. You can use it to heal them without having to trundle them all the way over to the health room. Problem is, it takes missiles, and missiles are kind of in very short supply on this ship, so having something that requires more missiles is definitely not what I was hoping for. Ideally, we'll be able to make something else out of it anyway. Here we go. We find the source of the distress call, a small research station which has a small laboratory fire which got out of control and is threatening to destroy their entire station. The fire suppression system is obviously not responding. Now we have the option to try and dock and rescue survivors or send our crew in a shuttle to help put out the fires. We also have the option to send our rock in. So let's send one of our rocks in and see what happens. Our rock soldier tears through the airlock directly into the fire. We've never seen someone that large move that fast, although that's strange because we're all rocks. It disperses as much fire suppressant as possible into the heart of the blaze, and eventually the fires start to die down. Contacting them, oh my goodness, this is amazing. With most of the fire under control, the scientists are able to help secure the station. They offer us their sincere gratitude, and a very generous reward. 19 scrap and a weapon pre-igniter. The weapon pre-igniter is an amazing piece of equipment that I have never had active before. I've never had it, and it sounds amazing. I'm so excited to use it. Basically what it does is, every time you jump, your weapons are automatically fully loaded for that first shot. You can take an enemy out before they even know you're there sometimes. It's going to be pretty darn cool. Let's see if we can't wreak some havoc with that puppy. Alright. This might be a pretty good start as long as we can get some new weapons. An especially well-armed pirate ship approaches us. Hand over one of your crew members, and the rest can go free, unharmed, they say. Well, we'll never surrender one of our crew to those slavers, so let's fight them. Our weapons are armed. Almost forgot about that already. Hit them in the weapons. Hit them in the hull. Make them regret fighting us. And we missed our hull missile, but that's okay because we knocked their weapons out completely, so they're not going to be doing anything to us. Next up, we'll Artemis them in the oxygen to give them something to think about, and hull missile them in the hull. Best place to hull missile them. Empty rooms. Ah, we surrender, they say. Take one of our slaves as tribute. If you destroy us, they'll all die anyway. Yeah, okay. More crew is always good, especially when I have less than 4. We'll accept their offer, and we get, ooh, a Zoltan. That's fantastic. Free energy. You can never say no to free energy. Alrighty. Now, we're gonna buy our level 2 shields, because those are important at this early stage. Make you a lot more survivable, since a lot of the enemies only have 2 firepower anyway, and they're all in lasers. Ooh, this is actually looking quite good. Although we definitely need new weapons, otherwise when those missiles run out, we are going to be sitting ducks. Let's hop onwards. What do we have here? Once we arrive, our screen lights up with warnings. A nearby pirate seems to have advanced hacking tools, and they've tried to shut down our engines. Our new crew member, Fen, manages to keep them barely operational, and we move into attack. Now, as I mentioned earlier, he's not going to really fit into our... As I've mentioned in other playthroughs, our new character... Oh, they resisted the damage from that? That's lame. Fen isn't going to fit into our scheme of literary characters, but nonetheless, it'll be good to have him on board. Let's knock out their oxygen, good, and hopefully kill them with this whole missile. Come on, down they go. Smooth criminals. The pirate ship destroyed, our engines come back online, and we salvage 4 fuel and 11 scrap from the debris. Not bad. No recovery for our missiles, though, unfortunately. But that's the power of the weapon pre-igniter. We can punch their weapons out before they have a chance to do anything. And there's just nothing they can do about it. Okay. What do we have over here? An empty oil refinery and several factories, with no life signs detected. Alright then, we have a store here, but we have no money to spend in it, so we're going to ignore it for now. We'll hop into this Nebula. We arrive in the Nebula and immediately receive a message from an unknown source. Prepare to be boarded! With the static from the Nebula, there's no way to tell where they came from, but we hear shots fired on board ship. So that's probably 4 boarders that just popped on board, so we're going to have to go fight some people. Yeah, there's some of them right now. You get in there too, dude. Everybody fight. we need people to start fighting here. Okay. There's that. Is someone else attacking another room, or is there only the 3 of them? Oh wow, King, you took a lot of damage there. Run for your life, dude. You took a beating. Now those 3 should be able to handle these 3. But we'll have to wait and see. Also, that's offline, so power up that medbay. Otherwise, we might wind up being in trouble here. It looks like these guys are going to go down no problem, but as far as I can tell, nothing else is being attacked. Oh wow, hello, you took a bunch of damage all of a sudden. Get out of there. Alright, they're all dying. They're dead. Lovely. Alright, that was unfortunate. That's definitely not the best way it could have gone. Alright, King's back to full health, so you get out there. You are going to come in here, and Fen, you're also going to come in here. Everyone go and heal up. Now would be a nice time probably to use a healing bomb, but, nah. Need to save those bombs, otherwise we're going to be in trouble later on, so it's really not worth the problem. It'll cause if we use it, rather. Alright, Tolkien, you need to hurry up and heal. That's one of the other problems with rock people. Since they have so much health, they take forever to heal up. I guess that would be one of the arguments for upgrading your medbay, but I mean, that's a silly thing to do. Alright, power out of the medbay, back into shields, and we are going to jump onwards. Hopefully we'll have better luck with our events than that. Although honestly, getting the weapon pre-igniter gives us a pretty darn good head start for luck-wise. The only other ship at this beacon messages us. Finally, after months of waiting, someone has fallen into our trap. Oh, you silly pirates. Okay, see, this ship has no advantage to me using hull missiles, so I'm just going to fire them in a random room anyway. They got a whole pile of weapons. Let's see if 1 Artemis missile is enough to knock out their weapons. Probably not. Yeah, not quite, but this one probably can't do any damage, so I'm going to leave it be. And I'm going to hit their helm with this hull missile, so that we can't be missing future shots. There we go. Enemy ship is trying to power up his FTL, so it's a good thing we hit their helm right now, because they're going to have a hard time getting away. Let's hit them in the oxygen with this Artemis missile to give them something else to think about. And 1 more shot should take them down. So we'll hit them in the engines, just because they're trying to run away. You're not getting away from us. There they go. Alright. The ship explodes, leaving behind 2 fuel, a missile, and 18 scrap. Not bad, but we really, really need different weapons. Let's jump into the Nebulas. Oh no. We jump into a sector of the Nebula beset by a plasma storm. An automated rebel scout stationed at the beacon moves into attack. We prepare to fight. Thankfully, we do have a fully charged salvo of missiles we can use, so if we fire, there's nothing. Our hull missile is useless again because they have no empty rooms. We should be able to knock out their weapons before they have a chance to do anything to us. So let's quickly fire those, and then Let's take power out of the engine. No, I can't do that. There's a result in keeping power in the engines. Let's temporarily take power out of oxygen to put one shield bubble up to protect us from this. Ooh, we hit that. Okay, not bad. We did at least knock out their drones. So we're going to be running out of oxygen shortly because I did turn that off like a moron. But it looks like that was the wise move. Now I can turn the shields back off, turn oxygen back on, put power back into engines for no good reason. Their systems are going to gradually come back online, but in that time we can kill them, because they shouldn't be able to hit us before we can't be hurt by them. There we go, problem solved. Ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap, giving us 3 fuel, 2 missiles, 16 scrap, and a hull beam. That hull beam actually might be an interesting weapon to use here. If we can use one of these missiles to blast through the shields, we can use the hull beam to do the remaining damage. That actually might work out okay. Let's jump out to this other nebula area, and hopefully it won't be an ion storm. There we go. What's here? A pirate ship arrives shortly after us. Judging from the fact that it's attempting to avoid our ship, we assume it's a struggler, trying to stay away from the beacons. Let's attack that pirate. Bam. Power up weapons and move in to engage. Alright, they got some weapons. That's okay. We can power up our shields again. I guess we could now. Okay, if I had my hull beam turned on already, I could try that system out already. But we're gonna have to resort to just no, not even. Hull missiles aren't useful here. Let's turn that off. Turn the hull beam on. Fire. Ah, no, that was stupid of me. Can I undo that? Yeah, I can. Good, because it'll take too long if I do it the other way. Might as well just punch him in the face with this thing for now, and then deal with the problems later. Bam, bam. Alright. Now I can turn that off, turn the hull beam on. I'm going to have to fire another missile anyway, so I might as well fire to their shields and then use the hull beam to deal the damage. I'll quickly wait until... No, there's no point in waiting. I can just fire it now. They're going to be slow repairing that damage anyway. They don't want to fight and are trying to escape, but unfortunately that's not going to be happening, as we fire a hull beam directly across their rooms. They hail us, saying, "We realize our ship is no match for yours. If you let us go, we can make it worth your while." They offer us 3 fuel, 2 missiles, and 10 scrap. The missiles are valuable, but we're going to ignore their pleas and murder them anyway. What do you have for us now? Alright, we searched the ship and discovered that its cargo was new military-grade weaponry. It was somehow undamaged in the fight and could be easily mounted on our ship. 15 scrap and another bomb weapon. Firebomb, man. They're throwing weapons at us and fancy augments and all kind of crazy upgrades, but we can't use them. They're not useful in any way to us. Okay, well, it'd be nice to start upgrading weapons again, because we get more weapons active simultaneously, but for the moment we're going to put another upgrade into engines first, just so we're a little bit harder to hit. Probably soon afterwards we'll be going into upgrading our weapons, so we can make the most use of our weapon pre-igniter. Oh, we recognize more slavers, a well-known slave trader. He hails us and offers us laborers for cheap, but we're not about to buy someone from them. We're going to attack them and hopefully have them give them to us for free, because we're cheap like that. Oh, and I did activate the hull beam by mistake. So, we're going to blast out that shield room. Hopefully you don't miss. There we go. Now I should be able to fry across these rooms. That's probably the best use of my laser. Go, hull beam, go! The ship's powering up its FTL, trying to escape, but unfortunately it's about to die. Ah! They surrender, they say. Take one of our slaves as tribute. If we destroy them, they'll all die anyway. Well, I'll accept their offer. More crew is never a problem. Unfortunately, it's a human, which doesn't give me literally any benefits. But who knows, maybe he'll be helpful at getting to do mechanical problems. The other problem with having a rock crew is they're really bad at getting things and fixing them, which I did mention in the beginning. So having a human on board will give me a little bit more mobile repair skill. Not as good as an Engie, but, you know, not bad. It'll also help fight off borders, so it has its uses. Let's jump to the exit. We do need to find better weapons, though. We arrive at the long-range beacon, and what's at this long-range beacon? A rebel automated scout floating nearby. Despite its pristine condition, it appears to be deactivated. We can get 7 scrap, which is pitiful, or we can attempt to download the ship's data stores and risk fighting it. Well, we were able to pull all the ship's data about the sector off without any problems. Our map has been updated, and our map's been updated really on the FTL link? Great! We also get 1 fuel, a missile, and 10 scrap. It's better than the 7 we would have got without doing that. So let's jump ahead. Well, it's an interesting looking map. We've got little pile of things over here. Where are we going to go, though? Rebel-controlled sector or a pirate-controlled sector? Rebels or pirates? How about pirates? Pirates are more fun than rebels anyway. Yarr!
A few years ago, this region was bustling with trade activity. Now it's overrun with bandits and marauders. We should tread lightly here. Yar, matey. This is terrible accent, you know. I should really stop using it right now.
Alright, what do we have in this area? The source of the distress call, we find a nearby human mining colony. An unknown disease has spread virulently among the workers, and they're trying to set up a quarantine to mitigate the spread of the disease, but lack any enforcement, and a riot seems likely. Thankfully, we have mobile SWAT team here in the form of the Rock crew. We're gonna send him in to prevent that riot. Given that it's unlikely the Rock's impressive immune system is susceptible to a human virus, we send them in. It's able to intimidate the workers long enough for culinary forces. Culinary? The lunch people are making this? No, colony forces to set up a quarantine. Their leaders offer a reward and assure us they will try to find a cure as soon as possible. We get 4 fuel, 4 missiles, and 15 scrap. Those missiles are the best thing out of that whole deal. We need missiles badly. We could do another upgrade of engines, which would put us up to 4 bars, which would be nice. We're going to hold on to our money for a little bit and go to the store. Because if we can get something at the store, that would be much more useful. We're probably going to go 1, 2, 3 jumps? No, we'll do 2 jumps. We'll go 1, 2. That sounds the best plan to me. Now we can jump up afterwards. Alright, we arrive in an asteroid belt to find that a rebel automated scout had been stationed here. We prepare ourselves for a fight. However, we also find that they don't have any armor, which means we can kill them in 1 shot. Bam! Weapon pre-igniter. Oh, not quite in 1 shot. Thankfully, the asteroid did it for us. Well done, asteroid. The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, getting us 2 fuel, 2 missiles, and 22 scrap. We also gained the They Never Saw It Coming achievement, which is for destroying an enemy ship before they can fire a round by using the weapon pre-igniter. So there you go. Free achievement today. That's not bad. Definitely not something we can complain about. Once our FTL drive charges up, we can jump over to that store and see if they have any weapons we can use. Ooh, distress beacon might be nice, but store is more important at this stage. We need new weapons. What do we have here? A hub of activity is nearby. A large corporation has set up a trade depot and has a number of well-armed ships patrolling. This appears to be a relatively safe place to get repairs. We take a look, and they don't have any weapons. Well, we can sell them our healing bomb, because we're not going to be using that for a while, and our fire bomb, because we don't have the missiles to be using those weapons anyway. And we could try buying something like a teleporter, because teleporters are fun, but I don't know, I want weapons. Although, honestly, with teleporters, we don't need as many weapons, and that could be good. If we can find ships without med bays anyway, because otherwise we'll be in a hard time. But then again, we do have a weapon pre-igniter, so we could use our Artemis to knock out their med bay. And this crew teleporter might be a good idea. Let's try it. Maybe Jarek will be the first member of our boarding team. We'll go for the crew teleporter and see what happens. I haven't used a crew teleporter in quite some time, so I may be using this like an idiot. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Alright, Jarek, get into that teleporter room, because that's gonna be your home from now on. I do like how it's right by the medbay too, though, so if you have to jump them out in an emergency, they jump right into a medbay. Alright, well, let's jump forwards and hope we find better luck than that. We need weapons. Alright, well, we find another source of a distress call, which happens to be another research station with another fire, which also has their fire suppression system not responding. We're gonna send our Rock crew member in again. He again tears through the airlock directly into the fire, and again, we've never seen anyone move that fast, despite we just saw it happen, like 15 minutes ago. Whatever. We contact the survivors. With most of the fire under control, the scientists are able to help secure the station. They offer us their sincere gratitude, and another very generous reward. 28 scrap and advanced FTL navigation. We're getting fancy augments left, right, and center here. We've already got 3 of them, and they're all pretty darn good. It's a good thing I didn't buy this in the previous area. I was considering it. So that was a lucky break on our part, I guess. Alright. Not too shabby at all. Unfortunately, now we've got to jump through some Nebula in order to get other places. I guess, let's just buy another energy bar, so that if we run into a Nebula, we have a higher chance of having at least 1 more energy point. And let's jump into the Nebula. They'll never see us coming. Alright. A heavily damaged Federation ship is hiding in the Nebula this beacon. Before we have time to make contact with them, they fade into the Nebula. Let's lock onto their life signs with our teleporter. That sounds like a really malicious thing to do. Bam! We beam the Federation crew aboard. 1 gladly joins our crew, but the rest would be dropped off at the next station. We get 21 scrap and another human. Alright, human, you're now part of boarding party as well. Welcome aboard, Jarek and Nekos. You guys are part of our murder crew. Super happy fun murder time crew. Alright, let's upgrade our teleporter and take that energy back out of the medbay to power it up. That sounds like a good plan to me. Nothing could possibly go wrong. We've actually had some pretty incredibly good luck here. Hopefully it continues. Let's jump onwards. Oop! No, that's not good. Ion Storm. Okay. Oh, and our weapon got turned off. Our weapon pre-igniter. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, we jump into the middle of a plasma storm. Multiple recently incapacitated ships loom in the shadows, briefly illuminated by the lightning. Let's manually search the wreckage for survivors and equipment. We might take some damage, but I'd say it's worthwhile if we get anything good. Bam! Within the ship graveyard, we find one ship that seems relatively untouched. On board, we find an unconscious passenger and take him back to the ship. Once he awakes, he offers to join our crew in thanks. We get 2 missiles, a drone part, and 12 scrap. Nothing to complain about there. And we got an Engie. Wow, awesome. Our crew is really fleshed out all of a sudden. We got almost a full crew in like 10 seconds. Awesome. Alright, well, he'll be a great addition to our repair crew. I really have nothing to complain about here, though. This is awesome. And there's a store there. I don't need that. I guess we'll go around the outside then. Work our way back around to the exit. What is over here? Zoop. The only other ship at this beacon messaging us says, "Finally, after months of waiting, someone has fallen into our trap." Have we now? Have we? Or have you fallen into our... well, not a trap, but into our clutches? Which I think they definitely have. Let's Artemis them in the weapons so they can't be hurting us while we're doing this. So I'll upgrade that as well. Fire the Artemis at the weapons. Hopefully it'll hit. There we go. They still have their rocket launcher, unfortunately, but we're going to teleport into their shield room. Not that we... no. Let's teleport into the helm. That sounds more fun. Zoop! Hello there. Nice to meet ya. I guess I should have kept that healing bomb now. Well. Yes, you make mistakes sometimes. Alright, they're going to murder that guy. Hopefully he's the only crew on board, because no one's coming to help him. He's dead. Here comes him. Oh, it's a mantis. That's not good. Let's Artemis out their weapons again, so they don't be hitting us with any more rockets. Because that one was one I forgot about. Alright, he's ran away. So we're actually going to send in these guys to fight him in here while he's on fire. If we can kill him while he's on fire... okay, no. Send one person in, you kill him while he's on fire, and you win a medal. No, you get out of there, because you're going to die if he fights you. You're in fire still, so you get in the helm. No. Get in there and help him. He's going to get murdered. Don't you let him die. He's more important than you in this case. Don't you stand on that fire pit either. No. Oh god. This is so terrifying. No. Oh, Jarek, you have like a single health left. You have 2 health left. Okay, Jarek. Go find a safe place. Awesome, there we go. We killed the mantis. Oh, there are no more life signs remaining on the ship. We stripped it of useful materials, gaining a missile, a drone part, and 30 scrap. Oh goodness. You guys were so close to death there, it's not even funny. Okay, let's teleport them out. Zoop. That was close, man. They made Nekos do all the work, too. Alright, let's take the power to that, put it back in the medbay, heal up our humans. Oh, the brave adventurers returned, but oh man, that was very nearly bad. Very nearly a terminal expedition. It's too bad they had a mantis on there. I'm probably going to want to upgrade my radar so I can see what I'm jumping into. Otherwise, this could be a very stupid plan. So let's do that right now. Let's buy ourselves a radar upgrade. Bam. And, get doors too. Just for fun. I like not having people being able to get around my ship while I get around theirs. Okay, let's jump to this distress beacon and see if they have anything else useful for us. We've got lots of handy crew races and all kinds of upgrades. Oh, good. A ship without life forms within a nearby dense asteroid field is giving off the distress call. Shall we investigate? It could be dangerous. Thankfully, we have rock plating, so we can make a thorough search of the ship without fear of stray asteroids. Zoop! We find the decaying remains of some kind of ship coated with ice or crystal. We send some crew aboard to explore. Nearly everything is either destroyed or unidentifiable, but one of the weapons appears salvageable and there's a strange stasis pod that catches our eye. Now that's just too good to be true. I don't even believe it. This is the Crystal Crew event! Again! Alright, looks like a massive asteroid is in direct collision course with the derelict ship. We should pull our crew out, but they want to grab what they can first. Obviously, they take the stasis chamber. Our crew drags the pod back to our ship before the asteroid smashes into it, shattering through the crystal coating and destroying it entirely. Alright, well, the pod inside appears to be functioning, but we see nothing else but shards of crystal inside. Perhaps someone else will know how to open it. 10 scrap and a damaged stasis pod. Unfortunately, we've been given so many nice things we're going to have to throw one out, but we're not getting rid of rock... well, we can get... we're not getting rid of rock plating. We're not getting rid of the weapon pre-igniter, so advanced FTL navigation I think is the one that's going to go. Rock, well, I don't even know. Rock plating isn't that great. It did just help us quite a bit, but advanced FTL navigation is most useful in the final boss fight, I think, when you can jump back to repair stations if you need it, and that's a long way away. So we might as well take the ability to not take hull damage. That's probably going to be more useful in the long run, but you know what? I could very well be wrong. But I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, advanced FTL navigation dropped in order to take that damaged stasis pod. Thank you kindly. That's awesome. That's just too good. Just too good. Okay. Hopefully there's some good over here, too. Get some more goodies. I'm still holding on to this hull missile. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. Another unmanned ship patrols this area. We prepare our ship for combat. Unfortunately, these guys have level 2 shields, so we're not going to be able to pummel through them and use our hull beam, and also they happen to have no oxygen on their ship, so there's no point in trying to get in with a teleporting crew. So let's Artemis out their, I don't know, their weapons, I guess? Yeah, I guess so. Artemis out their weapons, turn off the hull beam, turn on hull missiles, and we missed the weapons like a bunch of idiots. Alright. Hopefully they don't hit us too much. They've got bombs, though. I don't like bombs. Okay, hit them in the weapons again with the Artemis, please, before they fire a bomb at us. Go on. There we go. Weapons are offline. Room's on fire, but that's going to be a very temporary problem for them. Smashed a hole in the hull with our hull missile, and should be able to fire one more hull missile for the kill. Don't want to waste any more missiles than we have to. And since they can't hit us, there's no reason to rush with Artemis missiles. Just go for the double damage from the hull missile in that empty room. And down they go. Nicely done. Nicely done, crew. The ship explodes, leaving behind 2 fuel, a drone part, and 16 scrap. Fantastic. Alright, hull missile back offline, hull beam back online. And we probably have 1, 2 jumps before we run out of space, so let's jump to this unvisited location as well. No reason not to. What do we find here? We barely have time to register jump completion before our ship warns us of an incoming ship with weapons hot. Alright, so they've got hot weapons, and they fired a boarding drone at us, didn't they? Yes, they did. Hello there, guys. Let's go get them with our crew here before they completely destroy us, because if I teleport them out of here, we're going to take some hits. Let's hit their... that's a good question. Let's hit their shields out with our Artemis missile. They won't be able to get through our shields with their little puny laser, and we can hit them across 4 rooms with this laser. Bzzzt. There we go. Now they're trying to surrender. 4 fuel, 2 missiles, and 11 scrap. But that's hardly enough in my opinion, so let's keep murdering them. That room no longer has oxygen in it, so that's going to start hurting us in a bit. But until that does start to become a problem, we can just wait until the hull beam recharges and murder them. And if this does start to be a real problem, we can just run them back to the medbay and they'll be fine. And down goes their ship. Alright, the ship explodes, leaving behind a fuel, a drone part, and 24 scrap. Kinda sad we didn't get any of those missiles they offered us, but, you know, whatever. I did choose to kill them instead of listening to their offer. We're going to power up our medbay again, while our NG repairs that gap in the hull. Allowing our boarding party / defensive team to go heal up. We're going to send our NG to heal up as well, because I've been letting them asphyxiate in there for a little bit. And that's never good for anyone. Alright, you guys go back in the teleporter room, and Jax, our engineer, NG rather. I guess he is our chief engineer though, so I guess I can just call him that without any fear of saying the wrong thing. He is our engineer. Alright, we have 60 scrap remaining as well, so we could probably put some upgrades into something. But for now, we're going to jump to the exit and hope we've got enough to get through. What do they have here? We find a long-range beacon almost hidden within this nebula. And there's nothing else there, so we can jump onwards with impunity. Let's jump to the next sector. Interestingly enough, I recently learned that the rock homeworlds only spawn in Sector 6 or later, which means we picked the wrong path, because this could be the place. However, it's most likely in Sector 7, which would be this one right here. So if that's our rock homeworlds, we may just have the chance to get the crystal ship on this run, which would be pretty darn cool. So let's see if it happens. We have an NG-controlled sector or a Zoltan-controlled sector to go to. We have an NG and a Zoltan on board our crew, but we need the Zoltan to thaw out our friendly little crystal man. So we're going to go to the Zoltan-controlled sector and hope we get that event. Here we go. Alright. Fantastic. We're far away from Federation home space here in Zoltan territory, and it's not clear whether the authorities will have any goodwill remaining. Still, we have to push forwards. However, before we do that, we're going to have to end this episode here for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Vanguard of Valor, on board the VSS Literacy. with Tolkien, Asimov, and Stephen King quickly being outnumbered by non-literary members. But you know what? I'm totally cool with that. We have a pretty darn awesome ship here, as long as we don't run out of missiles. So, we're gonna keep going. And I will see you next time.
Also, if you like the video, don't forget to like the video. Yeah.
Bye-bye.